Out here to support him today. You got Jamie McIntosh, the other prop, and then the new 8th man that comes in, Richard Hutting. Tall fellows, strong scrummer. It's going to be an interesting see him in action.
Looking at the backs, Taylor Howden had been out of action for quite some time, and they're very glad to have him back in the lineup.
Yeah, Taylor Howden, I mean, what a find, a fantastic athlete. You know, JP Ulov, he starts in JP Ulov's place. Robbie Shaw, Taylor Howden, it's going to be the X factor, like I said. If these two can get it going, it's going to be interesting rugby.
Plus Dominic Waldick at the 13, a great addition from England. Let's take a look now at the San Diego lineup. They have a whole long list of great players that are out, either playing with their national sides or due to injury, but they're still very, very dangerous.
No, it's a very attacking side. Once again, they're loose forwards. They're going to have to lie on 6, 7, and 8 to win the ball at the breakdown. That's where Ohio used to be pretty strong, so if they can stop them at that point, it's going to be an uphill battle for Ohio.
In the backs, though, 14 and 15, Taku and Nguena at 14, and Mikey Teo were both tremendous players for San Diego. They are out, both of them due to playing with internationals, so they're going to have to try to fill those voids in this game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's big boots to fill. You know, but they'll back themselves. But then again, you have Drew Sinanula at 12 center, and I'm pretty sure he's going to keep the back line, you know, together.
And Kurt Marath, the leading scorer in the league, he's an outstanding player. Let's take a look at the keys to the game.
Yeah, right. Ohio, like I said, the type 5 for Ohio, they have to dominate the scrums. And then the new halfback combination is going to be the X factor. If you look at San Diego for the breakers, I mean, they have to win the balls at the breaking points, and if they do that, quick ball to the back line, and then, you know, there should be more points on the wings for them.
All right, we are ready to play rugby here at Obetz, Ohio, as San Diego will kick off to Ohio, and we are underway. And both teams will be trying to impose their will at the start, and especially with a lot of new players on the field to try to get themselves immersed in the game and start to play with effectiveness.
No, it's true. It's a true team sport, so it's a lot of these guys still have to feel each other out. And what a fantastic long raking kick.
The tactical kick is gathered in by Tim Stanfill. He's a good returner. They don't have anybody the likes of a Mikey Teo, who had 2 long, exciting, electrifying runbacks in that Denver game. One 80 meters got called back, but nonetheless, they still have some quick, elusive players back there. And San Diego, they're the leading scoring team in the league with 190 points, and they like to play a wide-open game. Here's a breakaway run, potentially, and good progress by Dylan Fawcett, and then the ball gets played out.
Forward first?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, there was a knock-on, so they're going to be brought back for that first scrum down, and it's the first scrum of the game, and it's going to be a fantastic matchup to see Demekus Beach and Jamie McIntosh scrumming down in this first scrum, and a lot can be said about the first scrum, so all eyes on this.
The start of the year, Beach came in to fill in for McIntosh.
Crouch!
But now they're both in that forward pack together. Beach has been capped twice with the USA Eagles, and of course McIntosh capped with the New Zealand All Blacks.
Use it.
And San Diego comes out with the ball off the scrum, and here they go.
Backward.
And they had a chance to move forward, but could not complete that ball. Now they're attacking the left side, trying to make some headway. And the ball taken at the breakdown, and a whistle here.
Easy, guys.
Yeah, as the ball went down, the referee is going to bring him back for the first knock-on. So there will be a scrum. First offense, knock-on. Aviators get to put the ball in.
Here's a look at Ray Egan, the head coach for San Diego. He feels his team has played well, but they had a couple of games that he really thought they should have won, both against Denver, that just didn't quite execute when they had to, and a couple of bad breaks, too.
Most certainly.
Fine.
In that Denver game, a ball just bounced on the nose. Instead of going out, it stayed in play. The ball was run onto and taken in for the winning try very late in the game.
Much better scrum from Ohio this time around.
And they come up with the ball, and bursting forward goes Spike Davis.
Yeah, powerful run there by Davis.
And a big hit there as Matt Houston back to his original position at the number 12 after he'd played 7 earlier in the year.
Yeah, he played in a center position, so that we can say he doesn't mind taking the contact at all.
And he has been an outstanding player. That ball is stolen by Davis, and he's going to take it in as he offloaded the ball to Waldock, and Ohio is on the board first.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Crowd erupts here as that try goes down in the corner. And we'll bring you back here for the replay.
That was a similar type of play that victimized San Diego last time. The ball bounded, it stayed in.
Davies got a hold of it, hand off, and then look at this pass. Beautiful. 5 points.
Great take Waldock long to make an impact on the game.
Yeah, Waldock, great follow-up there from Dominique Waldock, the outside center, and support play.
He has played at the highest level of world rugby, Waldock. A number of very prestigious sides in England.
Yeah, I just, it needs to be said, Spike Davies there, presence of mind, great handoff, didn't go for the line, offloaded it to Dominique Waldock, and over they go for 5.
Robbie Shaw connects on the conversion, and Ohio goes up 7-0.
So it's an all British affair then, with the points that was added.
Yeah. Blood sub.
So we have a blood substitution coming on, off. One of the Ohio players has a little bit of blood coming from the lip, so we'll see a substitution. So the game is paused here for a second.
Shaw was doing the kicking in a lot of the earlier games. Sean Davies had been doing the kicking. He is here, but he actually was working out with the Eagles, the U.S. national side, and he's on as a reserve, but he missed a lot of the training sessions this week, so Shaw is in that position at the start of this match. But Davies will see action. Fawcett takes the ball off the kick. Starts upfield, got hammered. Big hit there by Ryan Matias.
Yeah, huge tackle. He didn't wrap in the tackle. That's definitely going to be a penalty. Bit of more of a shoulder charge than anything. Dangerous play. Referee's whistle goes, and a penalty for the Aviators.
Unlike in American football, they're very particular about the tackling techniques in rugby. It's probably something that their American football brethren could learn from, and they are learning because of some of the issues in that game.
13.
Yeah.
That ball's kicked to touch, and they pick up a lot of territory.
Yeah, Taylor Howden there with a well-judged kick. One about 50 meters out. And like I said, keep an eye on the halfback combination in Robbie Shaw and Taylor Howden. Taylor Howden reminded me a little bit of Carlos Spencer, very relaxed player. Maybe fair to say that JP Ilov has got more on a faster attacking player, but
they're very different styles of players,
style,
but both extremely effective.
Very, very.
And they had something going there as they pass it down the line, but it was just behind Alan Hansen.
Yeah, just to go back to that, I mean, just blessed with two great finds and great talents in the likes of Taylor Howden and JP Ilov, who's currently injured.
Well, they lost the likes of Roland Suniula and Angus McClellan, two great players who are currently with the USA Eagles. Certainly it was propitious for Ohio to get such great players to come at this very week.
Too far back. We need to be close to the line out.
Ohio has international matches coming up against Italy on June 18th and against Russia on June 25th. Also, some Canadian players have gone to play with their national side. They'll be playing Japan coming up soon.
Yeah, then the summer league has started all over the world. South Africa played Ireland yesterday. Didn't go so well for South Africa in that game. And New Zealand pulled off a win over the weekend too. So
you're bearing up well under that.
Yep.
And the ball is cleared into touch.
Well, as the Aviators 7-0 up. Nice line out, attacking right on the 10-meter line.
The ball is taken very well by Reichert Hadding. Outstanding South African player that has international potential, according to Coach Barford for Ohio. Tremendous, phenomenal talent. And San Diego taking over now, and they're attacking on the wide side. And some great acceleration there. Bursting downfield behind the defense, looking for an offload, but Mateus had no one to give the ball to. He outran everybody, even his teammates.
Yeah, great little, he took the gap really well. And at the end of the day, Spike Davis saved the day, diving onto the ball.
Now they still have speed back there, even without Mike Tam. Take a look at this.
Yeah, a little shove the hands, great run, great acceleration. But he got caught, and then Spike Davis jumped on the ball. But there was a little knock on, so we'll come down for the scrum down. Aviators almost found themselves into trouble there.
Officials.
So you have Kurt Weaver adjudicating the game today.
Leah Berard and Mark Nelson.
Lots of talent there. All these officials have been around the sport for many years, so we're in great hands. Off your side, there's a flag, so the referee is going to concur and get a little bit of assistance from the touch judge.
Meanwhile, a litlittle work being done on Drew Suneula for San Diego. 6'1", 238-pounder out of Chicago.
Offering the largest team and the most comprehensive approach to the
they're going to
treatment of injuries.
Put the ball in play just outside the 22 with a scrum down. It will be fed by Ohio.
Yeah, no, what Ohio needs is a strong scrum. That tight five better stand strong. If we see a tight hit here for San Diego, it could be trouble times for Ohio.
These aren't two of the teams with the larger size forward packs in the league. Ohio actually with a bit of a size advantage.
Yeah, that scrum goes down. A lot of pressure there. It's a judge that San Diego brought the scrum down, scrumming inwards. That's a penalty. And you'll see the ball there in the hands of Taylor Howden, and he's going to try to relieve some pressure, try to get him out of jail.
Howden in his first game after being out with injury. They think that he's 100%, but it's a first real match test that he's had.
That's right. I mean, looking so far, pinpoint position with the kicks. He has been off of injury, and if everything goes well, he'll be playing in the game against Denver next year, and that's also the same day that his wife is scheduled to deliver their first child.
Hopefully a good omen, both sides, both ways. And going forward is Spike Davis. He's already made one big play. Gave it back to Reichert Hatting. He was converged upon.
Yeah, he was
keep the phase of play going.
Kind of in a sandwich tackle there. So I think he's a marked man.
They continue to make some progress up the middle with some power running.
Yeah. Straightest point between lines from A to B.
And they can get the defense to converge and then kick it outside. They can have some success. There's Hatting again. Getting very much involved in the play. Forward to the green-hatted Sebastian Kalm, who's playing at the 7 position after having played the 8.
Yeah, well, there's an offside. The whole back line for San Diego has been caught offside. And the penalty, it will be wise to settle it down and take the 3 that's ungiven. This could stretch the lead all the way to 10-0.
There's pretty strong wind blowing right to left across the field. And you'll have to take that into account. But this from a pretty favorable position on the field.
Yeah, definitely very kickable position. And I think it's the right option rather, to take the 3. T is on the field, so they're going to go for it. And I would believe Robbie Shaw would be the kicker. Unfortunately, we have a player from San Diego down, Greca.
They already have their share of injuries. Some key players. Paul McKenzie, they call him the Dragon. He's out for this game. They had French international player Jean-Baptiste Gobelin. He was set to play for the Denver game, but he pulled his calf beforehand, so they lost his services.
So that was Sizzle Garber. Let's have a look at this. See if we can see what happened. Yeah, he went in low. I think it may be a knee to the head as he went in for the tackle.
Hubert Biden's a Canadian international. He's out this game with injury. And Joe Tafetti is another player, a hooker. He's with the USA Eagles, and so they've just lost probably half of their lineup that played an impressive game against Denver in a 1-point loss, as you see, getting off the field under his own power.
Well, we'll have Robbie Shaw going for it. Flags go up, that's 3 points.
So they get out to a 10-0 lead. Ohio actually got off to a good start against San Francisco, but a key turnover prevented them from getting in for a try. They had some ill-timed turnovers and just mistakes that prevented them from being able to open up a lead. They led 8-7, but then San Francisco hit them twice quickly. They were down 21-8, could have even been more, and they just could never recover. So here they have an early lead, and they've been able to get a sizable cushion at the start.
Well, that ball barely made it to the 10-meter line. Perfect kick at the end of the day. Wasn't fielded, so touch line 1, that competition. And the Aviators will get the ball to put the ball into the line out.
First, these team nicknames are the result of a name your team contest that the fans in the various locales had. So the Sacramento Express, the Denver Stampede, the San Francisco Rush, honoring the Gold Rush, of course, and then these two teams here today. And that ball is sent soaring downfield and gets past Calais Conrad, who's in playing for Mikey Teo. And he just kicks it right back tactically into touch.
Yeah, a bit of aerial ping pong. But at the end of the day, the Aviators came back.
Yeah, the Aviators will win any aerial contest in all likelihood.
Look at that. So they won about 10-15 meters in that contest, and they get to put the ball into the line out. So it paid off for them. Faster to put it into the line out. And there's Rico Hatting on your screen. Big lad from Pretoria in South Africa.
Just overshoots his jumper, but they come up with the ball anyway. And there is Demekus Beach powering forward. Laid it off for Robbie Shaw, and they attack the left side. And they're starting to move that ball with alacrity.
Another penalty there, loud whistle for the referee. Playing the ball on the ground, looking off, spraying from an offside position. So this is in a kickable position for Robbie Shaw, but it will be a long, difficult kick.
Just shy of the 40, straight on more or less.
He's going to go for it. Now this would be, if this goes over, San Diego will need 2 converted tries to pull ahead.
That has not been a problem for them in past games, as we mentioned, being the highest scoring juggernaut in the league, but they're losing without a lot of their best weapons in this match.
You know, being a proud team, for sure, having some of the key players out. But if you would ask any of these players, they would feel like they're up for the task. Nevertheless,
and Coach Egan said, "We're going to try to play our game with the players that we have on hand." But let's see here if Shaw is able to convert this one. Plenty of distance, but off wide right.
Yeah, he definitely the distance, just not the direction. Here he is on your screen. Robbie Shaw, the man from finds his home, born in England.
Very, very talented player for the Ohio Aviators. And one of their offensive stars. And now, of course, he's playing in that position to really be a focal point today. Ball put back in play. And Beach has it. He swung it back nicely for Hansen.
Yeah, this is really dangerous. They can recycle that ball.
And they do. They get it out, but again, does not go to hand. This one, it appeared they had a real opportunity looming, and they do get a breakthrough, but well after the whistle.
Yeah, that ball unfortunately spot up the eighth man's hands. Went forward, knock on, scrum down. San Diego gets to feed the ball into the scrum.
Now, this was the sort of thing that happened early in that San Francisco game. They just couldn't take full advantage of opportunities. They had an offside call that was right near the try line, a turnover right near the try line. And even though they had the lead, it could have been a lot more. Here they've got a pretty good lead, but still, when you have a chance to put a team away, you need to take advantage of it.
No, I would definitely say that that was a silly mistake. At the end of the day, it's very elementary. You need to, keep your eyes on the ball, grab it. Unfortunate mistake. Nevertheless, it seems like San Diego has another man down, and their injury tally might go up.
And it's already fairly considerable. Well, we talked about the need to not leave points out there, and a great example is the last game is Ohio. They didn't feel they played that well. San Diego didn't either, but Ohio was leading in the final phase of play in the game, decided it for San Diego 24-20. Otherwise, these positions would be reversed today.
Yeah, no, they had the lead right at the end with Ohio, and they were trying to slow the ball down, and at the very depth of the game, San Diego stole the ball and went over in the corner for a fabulous strike. Well-deserved victory, but like you said, if there's points on, for the taking, you better grab them.
You see, last time the player was able to get off on his own power. This time, not so fortunate. And so, Ben Leotagaga, who has played with the USA Sevens team, coming on the lineup. And of course, Ohio's lost to Denver. They left 4 tries out there that they couldn't convert. They still led that game very, very late. Denver's could almost liken them to a cat with 9 lives. There's several times it looked like they've been down, but the experience of their side has just allowed them to pull through.
Markings of a great team if you can have that experience to pull yourself out of the fire.
That's why they're where they are, perched atop of pro rugby standings.
Well, it's a bit of loose ball for San Diego.
They're going to kick the ball out.
Under pressure.
Find the touch line.
Find some relief.
But maybe only temporary relief, as Ohio will be able to feed the line out and try to put the pressure right back on them.
Yeah, if you look at the field position right now, Fawcett wants to find his jumpers and need a good clean ball. There's a lot of talk in the Ohio backline. You sense something is going to go down. Planned move of some sort. Ball wasn't
take that
clean.
ball cleanly. Come out with it again. Walled up and scored that first try. Tried to offload the ball, lost it, and big scuffle for it, and penalty on Ohio.
Yeah, silly mistake, diving right onto it.
Those were the kind of things that they were called repeatedly on in the game with San Francisco, and thought was that they didn't adjust to the officiating in that game. They kept getting called for the same sorts of things.
And that's something that they're going to have to iron out, because some refs are going to see the game different, and they're going to blow it up for interpreting a certain rule a certain way, and you got to follow the referee.
San Diego putting it in on the line out. Come up with the ball. Charlie Purdon, a good wide pass out. He's the one who scored the winning try in that earlier matchup against Ohio. And there's another deceptive offload by Purdon. Now San Diego attacking. And here we go again. We've already seen the dangerous running of Matias, and he's right down near the line.
Oh, he's like 5 meters out.
They're still after it. Purdon reversed his field, trying to work the wide side.
Yeah, the referee is going to bring him back for the penalty for the back line for Ohio being offside.
So San Diego all of a sudden is in a position to try and come back here. They're having to help Drew Suniula back to the bench area. So we'll hope that he'll be all right.
I mean, what a run by Ryan Mateus for all my money.
in this area.
It-
That situation.
It was that good that it should have been a try, but Ohio, he did get stopped, and Ohio decided, San Diego decided to do not go for anything else but the 3 points.
Well, at this stage of the game, I think they feel that they need to get some points on the board, get some momentum going in the right direction.
Absolutely. If this goes over, they but one converted try behind. And here we look at that again. Look at this. Show up the hands inside out. Really elusive. And there's the try line in the back line, and he just got brought down.
Looked like he had a good chance to go all the way there. Here is Kurt Marath. He is setting up this ball. He might be the premier player at his position in the world. He's played in 3 World Cups out of New Zealand, leading scorer in the league. Tremendous import for pro rugby.
Yeah.
86 points, and trying to add to that now. A great tactical kicker as well as standing on conversion.
Flags go
and
up.
Try attempts, and he got it.
Kick is good.
So they're on the board. San Diego down 10-3 to Columbus, and 10-3 with you having scored most recently. That definitely gives a whole different aura to this match after it looked like Ohio was on the verge of breaking it open early.
No, exactly. That's exactly what you have to do. And at this standard of rugby, if there's points that can be have, then you know, take them. And every little bit helps, and all of a sudden it's only a 7-point game.
Here you see the numbers tabulated by Marath. In that match with Denver, though, he missed one. In fact, he missed a couple of kicks, but one he thought he had, and he took a long look over to the judge and said, "Are you sure it didn't?" And so he missed that one. And then there was one that originally was called no good, and they conferred and gave the conversion to Denver, all in a 1-point game. So a lot of things went. Then there was another situation where Mikey Teo, he had the one long return. One got called back, as I said, and then he had one where he made an ill-conceived pass. It was intercepted, and Denver took it right in for a score. So there's any number of little things that happen. If you just switch one of them, San Diego wins that game and defends their home field. So they really have to come back here strong in this one.
No, that's true. And like you say, it's as we're creeping up onto the summer, we have scheduled water breaks so the players don't dehydrate.
Yesterday it was near 100 degrees. Fortunately, is a little bit cooler than that here today, although not noticeably. And obviously they've got to keep the players hydrated.
Yeah, I think you know, your fitness level in conjunction with being properly hydrated is definitely going to tell a tale towards the end of the second half. And the way you use your substitutions today is going to be key.
So San Diego back within a converted try of tying this match up, and they'll be receiving the ball here. Normally when they have the likes of Teo in the lineup, anytime he touches the ball, he's a threat to go all the way.
That's right.
But we've certainly seen that Matias is very, very dangerous with the ball, as are Pono Haitsuka and Kale Conrad.
Howden with the restart.
Purdon swings it over, and they attack the left side. They get the ball out wide. Looking good with their ball control, but Spike Davis stepped in to stop the progress.
Yeah, Spike Davis was not going to have that. Took on his man, and a little bit of a manhandle there. And during that, won the ball for his team.
There's Spike Davis, former SMU football player.
Let's have a look at this.
He went out earlier.
He grabs a hold of him and puts his man down.
Pared 50 pounds off his football weight to play rugby, and he's very, very fit. This Ohio team, that's one of their strengths, and really the teams in this entire league, very, very fit.
You know, looking at the position on the field, this is great attacking play position for Ohio.
They come up with the ball off the scrum. There's Davis. Send it out for Walduck. Now they've got opportunity here to work the left flank. And they get it over.
What a try as he reaches out for it. Touch judge walks around. She nods, tries good. Yeah, Alex Elkins.
Another
got
football
it down.
player. He played
Look at this.
over at Colorado State.
As he hands it up and he reaches over. And boom, 5 points. Fantastic. You can see the hands of Spike Davis going up as he's opposite number fellow wing score it.
So they've had very good fortune with turning football players into rugby players. And Elkins gets that try on the board to make it 15-3, which is very big after San Diego got on the board. This will be a challenging conversion attempt, but certainly makeable.
Yeah, I mean, this is right on the touchline. Crowd will tell you. Flags go up, 2 points.
And that gets it up to 17-3. In Ohio, as they have done every time they've played a game here at Memorial Park, they have dominated the visiting team. The grass has been mowed a little bit more. It's not quite, they didn't play Welcome to the Jungle, I don't think, before the game today, but nonetheless, it's not the same kind of surface that certainly a team like San Diego thrives on.
Yeah, no, I was before the game, I was on the pitch a little bit to feel the grass out.
And now some tempers flaring. In fact, we've got quite a melee going on out there.
Yeah, it's some handbag stuff. Welcome to Ohio. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Welcome to pro rugby, but in the best rugby tradition, I'm sure at the post-match social, it'll all be forgotten.
Yeah, there was really nothing in that. It's just a little bit of tempers. It's a little hot today. Maybe an extra sip of water would do the trick. As you see, a bit of a body slam there from Jamie. You know, it took 2 guys to take him on.
Yeah, he can take 3 out in one shot there.
Probably a third one would have been better. But at the end of the day, there's nothing in it. It's just a little bit of, how are you doing? Welcome to the game. Welcome to Obates.
McIntosh, a 280-pounder, and he goes for 80 minutes.
He does.
Never stops working, as we said, tremendously fit. That's what actually the internationals that have come to play in this league have probably commented most on, is the very high fitness level of all the teams over here in pro rugby.
Well, the referee is gonna have a word.
And while they're doing that, we'll remind you, you can join us for another broadcast of Pro Rugby at 3 p.m. on Sunday, June 26th, as San Francisco, new look San Francisco team comes to Ohio for another exciting meeting. It's round 11 in the inaugural season of Pro Rugby, 3 p.m. Sunday, June 26th.
Well, so back to the game. The referee is having a stern talk there to the number 3, Jamie McIntosh, giving him a yellow card. So Jamie will be
expressing some displeasure.
Yeah, he will be sitting on the sin bin and sitting here close to us in the shade for 10 minutes, and that's a big loss. Greg, we talked about how important the scrum is. Now, see, that is taking. Jamie reacted because his fellow player was taken out, but then again, if the rules in rugby is if you retaliate, then you will get the bigger scorch. Anyway, so with Jamie McIntosh off the field, the scrum is going to be substantially weakened.
That's the case just about every sport universally, is that he who retaliates is the one who typically pays a higher price. And then they kicked a touch, and now, just after it appeared that maybe Ohio is reestablishing control of the game, San Diego is right back in a threatening position.
Yeah, no, they after that penalty, they get to feed the ball too, so it's very attacking, and we've all seen how dangerous the back line is for San Diego. And you'll see Matt You see Taylor Howden coming out to the center position to come and help with any sort of backline attack.
Hold.
They bring the ball in well and maul it forward.
5 out now. 5 you're out.
And then coming out with the ball, tied to a Samoa, and they're right near the try line.
Yeah, here they come.
This time it goes to Mikey Sassini, and they're edging closer and closer to pay dirt.
6 away.
Yeah, that's the try line right in front of him.
They're going to try to crash it over. Still, Ohio's very stubborn defense holding the line. They give up points very grudgingly, especially on this pitch.
Overlap, can the
Try
ball
to
go
go
wide?
out wide. Dashing, there is Conrad trying to find his way in.
Try scored by
And
the Breakers.
he is able to put the ball down.
15,
Conrad scoring to
Conrad.
tighten it up again.
Yeah, no, that was well worked. They were hitting the left side, hitting the blind, and then all of a sudden, quick ball, great vision. There's an overlap, the long pass out, pins his ears down, boom, 5 points.
He's the one wearing the 15 in place of Teo. Actually, on Teo's second long breakaway run, he was the one who scored the try off an offload. And he's a very, very skilled player himself, very fast, out of Heidelberg, Germany. A real up-and-comer.
Yeah, Calais Conrad, great vision there, great team try at the end of the day, and he finished that off beautifully. This will be a difficult kick, but an important kick.
And the conversions are so important. The try that he scored off that offload from Teo gave them a 23-16 lead, and they missed the conversion. Had they made it, it would have been an 8-point lead, and they might well have been able to hold on to that win over Denver.
Kick looks good.
And it is good.
Is good by number 10.
Once again,
Kurt Morad.
things have tightened up, and only a converted try separates the two teams. And of course, Marath is an outstanding kicker, and there was another example of it.
Yeah, no, we're back to one converted try difference. Quite the seesaw battle at the moment.
Here's the scorer, Conrad. One thing we haven't seen yet because of the way Ohio's controlled most of the game, possession-wise, Marath is a great territorial kicker. He will see if there's open space somewhere on the field, and he'll pin the other side back.
Right into his hands, and exactly what he's going to do. Doesn't found touch.
Now come the Aviators. Putting his head down and plowing forward. Elkins, who already scored the one try.
Here they come with big ball.
And now they're
Drop
going to kick tactically. And it is through the end zone.
Low flat one, but good idea by Taylor Howden, keeping them guessing, but just didn't have the distance.
Just say, let them know you're open, yeah?
Earlier in that last game with San Diego, they controlled the possession probably 65 to 70% of the time against Denver. I think it's been the reverse here in this match so far.
Kind of like that play. It's had options, went for the drop kick and make it.
Going up to take it is Filippo Ferrarini. Have to call him the Ferrari, and everybody's taken to doing that. The great Italian player. Beach lost it, recovered. The whistle pulls the play back.
Yeah, no.
Called on the knock-on. This sport is unforgiving that way. You have to field the ball cleanly.
Yeah, they're going to call him back for the scrum right in the middle of the pitch. San Diego gets to feed the ball.
Okay, never mind.
Technique is
We're good.
very important because precise execution is required.
Yeah, you don't want to be giving possession away in such a tight game at the moment with so much to play for.
San Diego starting to throw some counter punches and build a little momentum of their own after Ohio had them on their heels at the start. This will be put in by Charlie Purdon.
Now just remember, they do have the scrum in the middle of the field, but they'll be missing Jamie McIntosh for another 5 minutes or so, so that scrum.
Interestingly enough, Sean Davies was yellow carded in the game against San Francisco. That's when San Francisco started to come on, and now here McIntosh goes off and San Diego comes on after that.
Well, it's always going to be a difficult task playing 14 men against 15 to a very talented side like San Diego.
Especially when you're losing such a fundamental figure on your team. And that ball over on the far side goes over the touchline. Touchline wins. And Ohio will put the ball in on the line out. Dylan Fawcett out of Wexford, Ireland, joined the team just after the season began and was an outstanding pickup for the squad. Really, if they get players back from the internationals, get players back from injuries,
Closer,
and the new players that are joining, most all of these teams are starting to really reach their peak.
Nice little up and under.
Taken by San Diego. And here they are now. They can break something loose. They could tie this thing up. Send it out wide. And a good tackle there by Alan Hansen. And the ball stolen, but the whistle goes just before
First off,
Davis broke away from the pack.
Yeah, there was 2 knock-ons there. The first one was by San Diego. The second one by Ohio Aviators, which will bring us back to the first infringement. Scrum down. Ohio will get to feed the ball into the scrum and find themselves right in the middle of the pitch.
Get the evil out.
About 25 meters away from the try line.
Swung back and forth momentum-wise, right? When it appears one team has had an edge and maybe started to take control, the other teams come right back. And here, once again, is a pivotal moment in this game.
If I'm looking at the position of the field, this might be Robbie Shaw going blind. Going on the blind side, having Spike Davis here in the corner, very powerful runner. I won't be surprised if something along those lines are up. Tight end.
They're unable to come out with the ball.
Let him run.
And it's cleared downfield. Gathered in by Hansen. He's one of the quickest, if not the quickest player on the team. Ball fielded there by Elkins. He got a quick break. Look at him go. Barreling down the sideline. And grounding the ball for a try.
What a try.
The Oklahoma State football player, he looked like he was intercepted the ball and running it back for a touchdown.
Now, if you haven't seen pace in your life before, then have a look at this. This is one of the tries of the match. Pass goes wide, and he turns on the pace. The afterburners goes on.
He just outran everybody. He took the ball in full stride, and that really gave him the momentum he needed to power past
it was as
all
it was
pursuers.
He had some rocket boots on there, or some afterburners that he utilized, but man, what speed.
6'4", 240-pounder. And a great pass he received from Hansen that allowed him to just run onto the ball and take off.
Yeah, no, great vision, putting him in the gap, and he pinned his ears down, and 5 points it is.
Come on, boys, we dodged a bullet on that scrum.
No.
Let's go.
And comment was just made. They dodged a bullet on the scrum where they lost possession, and they were able to get the ball back and score on the counterattack.
That kick
looks like it was just a shade wide.
At the distance, not the direction.
The score will stay at 22-10. Which means they could tie with one converted try and then a second try and possibly go ahead with a conversion. Nonetheless, a big try there to make it 22-10.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So again, this game continues to swing back and forth.
Yes, not in the air. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Higher standards. Thanks.
We have our players back on the pitch.
And McIntosh coming back on.
Good call, John.
And so on the strength of that try that Ohio just scored, they're able to not lose much ground other than just the conversion while McIntosh was off the field.
No touch.
And we're moving down towards the end of the first half, and any further scoring will be very, very significant to this game.
Yeah, most certainly. You know, two different perspectives. Ohio land any more points in this half, it will make things really difficult in San Diego. The other side's also true. San Diego needs the points now to keep the gap contained.
9, closer.
Very important line out.
Finding a jumper, going up to get it, Pierce Dargan, but
Referee.
Not straight. Choice the breakers.
didn't get it in the middle.
Now, if you ever want to talk about a mistake, that ball did not go in straight into the line, which means it'll be a scrum down for San Diego. San Diego have to turn this into points.
And that's the same thing when they had a chance to feed the scrum and didn't get the ball. Now here they have a chance to feed the line out and don't get the ball. That's been the type of thing that has hurt Ohio in the games they have not won. The games they have won, they've won decisively.
Well, San Diego has been scrumming really well up until this point, and they'll back themselves getting this ball back. Nice quick ball.
6.
Purdon gets it and swings it out. They kick forward, going after it there, picking it up, and if he can ground the ball, he scores. He does. That is Ben Leotagaga, who came on after Suniula was injured, and he has scored, and there you go, another try going the other way for San Diego.
Yeah, Kurt there with a little, look at this little stab. To perfection. Bounce of the ball, holds onto it. Over they go, 5 points. Just as the doctor ordered.
And Marath, he's pretty much automatic from anywhere, but from right here, you have to feel he's odds on to put this through, and that would get it back once again to a 5-point count, separating the two teams.
Yeah, as the clock runs down to the last 3 minutes of this half, this kick will bring them into a one try deficit.
He scores it, and it's 22-17. Leotagaga, who scored that try, he's a superstar in the sevens game, and you can really see how he has that fleetness of foot. He stepped into that opening, picked up the ball, and grounded it. And it's interesting with San Diego, even with the starry players that they've lost, they've had other guys that have plugged in that have been very impressive.
I think that's the most impressive thing at the moment. It was great coaching, and the guys coming in to fill those positions are filling them nicely, and it's well planned.
Rob now up to 7 points. He's got now 93, the leading scorer in pro rugby. San Diego now, if they could break something loose, they could even take a lead in at halftime, which would certainly be a turn of events. Here they kick for territory.
Thank you.
And now a counterattack attempted here by Kunkel, Christopher Kunkel, who's on the pitch now for the Aviators. And a big hit there midfield. Gets the crowd into the game. And a penalty called here on San Diego.
Let's have a look at this. 3-card Hutting, that's a high tackle, grabs around the neck. Referee's not going to have that today.
So we've got everybody up in arms over on the far side of the field.
Yeah, that's just blatantly dangerous. He gets a nice warning. No card, but definitely a warning. That happens again, it will be a card. Time on. Ohio might go for the line here.
You're on it there, 20.
Set up the line out.
You're on it there.
Taylor, Howden, with that pinpoint kicking of his, see if he can get it close.
Yeah, he does succeed in that endeavor, and now Ohio with a chance as the time is running thin here in the first half. Good score and at
Guys,
least
I'll hold you, yes?
increase their advantage. And we are at, again, a vital point in this game, and we've been in many of those situations here. And they come up with the ball up the line out. Try to crash it up the middle. But met by stout defense from San Diego. Still very, very little operating room in the middle of the pitch.
Slowing.
Just inside the red zone. If they could pop it out, though, They might have an opportunity. There goes McIntosh bowling forward. He is stopped in the whistle, and
Out.
penalty called here on San
Toward your own
Diego.
team, not toward the 9. Out.
And
Scrum
this,
option.
they're going to have an option. And it looks like they're going to opt for the scrum. As the final seconds are ticking down at the end of the first half. We'll try to finish out this final phase of play
Crouch.
in the San Diego end zone with a
Fine.
final try. The horn sounds, so they'll play this through, and then that'll be the conclusion of the first half.
I understand. We're going to reset it.
They're going to reset the scrum.
Both sides, boys. In and solid.
Let's go, Aviators! Let's hear it for Ohio Aviators!
A 5-point lead. It's important for San Diego to be able to keep them off the board here. They would have a lot of momentum going into the second half.
Set.
And once again, they will feed the scrum.
Use it.
Come out with the ball, wheeling back toward the left.
Away, San Diego.
Nobody can come away with clear control. Still, they're just trying to ram that ball in.
4, roll.
They could maybe pop it out to the side, such as they did on the earlier try that was scored by Elkins.
Off his neck.
And it is just really tough going in there. Trying to assist the ball carrier forward, but
Penalty advantage.
very difficult.
Offside.
And a whistle goes. They call it offside and a quick restart. Ohio getting very, very close to the try line, but encountering fierce resistance on the part of the San Diego Breaker defense. Now they finally find some open space. They swing it out to Davis, and he breaks over for the try. They finally got the ball into space and score a very, very important try late in this first half. In fact, at the very end of the first half. It was just all clogged up in the middle. They needed to get the ball out to where there was some running room. They did, and Davis goes over. He set up Waldock with a great offload after a similar run early in the match, and now he has scored again. So Spike Davis has scored one and set up one brilliantly in this first half. And now it will be Robbie Shaw trying to reestablish the 12-point lead.
As soon as I get my focus.
Ricky Lobsher is standing by with Coach Barford. We'll get his take on the first half after this conversion attempt. And it is not going to bend back inside that right post, and the score will remain 27-17 at the end of the first half. And let's go down to Fricky on the sidelines.
Yeah, I'm standing with the Ohio coach. Bit of a nail biter. Give me your take. And
We had to make adjustments like the last time we played this team. We lost Matt Houston, I believe he's broken his jaw, so he'll be done. He just got married, so bad luck for him. I think we're starting to get a bit of dominance here. I think the heat's going to affect both teams. I'm hopefully that we can just carry on, score a try there at the end, so we should do well, I think, the second half.
yeah, another great try by Spike Davies. This puts you guys 3 tries up, 1 more for the bonus point, which means you will go up for second place. Was that a big talking point for you guys going into this game, the point system, or
No,
not at all?
not at all. We just want to come away with a win. The points are, doesn't really make any difference. We want to get the win first, and then we'll go for the extra tries. Both our wings were our big priority. Get them the ball. They're our game winners, and both of them scored a lot of tries. So finally we got the right game plan. Get the ball to our big guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck for the second half. Greg, back to you.
Well, they've got their 4 tries in the book, and they've got a 10-point lead, Ohio does. 27-17 over San Diego at the end of the first half here in Pro Rugby. Back out here at Obetz as the youngsters playing rugby. You've heard of flag football. They're playing flag rugby out there for the future rugby stars. 27-17 the score. Ohio leading San Diego, and both teams traded tries, and Ohio got a big one there at the end that's going to give them a much better frame of mind in the locker room, I'm sure.
No, I think that was a very important try. The score is 27-17, but I think the game is actually a lot closer than the score would suggest at this point in time.
And San Diego was on the verge of going in with the momentum, but Ohio was able to pull it back in their direction with that late try by Davis, who was outstanding in that first half. We're going to take a break, and we talked about the differences between rugby and football. We'll focus on those, feature rugby versus football, and then we'll be back for the second half out here at Obetz.
Football. In actuality, it's football that's like rugby.
Kruger to Nguyen on the outside, touching Nguyen. Cuts back in. What a try!
Rugby is very much a player's game rather than a coach's game. Players have to think on their feet. They have to make many more decisions.
Tetri goes deep to the backs now. Huge flank pass. It's going to be a try. It's wild.
More so than football, the game is always moving, it's always evolving.
Now they're going for the try line here. Better body positions here from the United States.
A try or a touchdown is...
Peels away, and then throws over, I think, no.
You physically have to put the ball down. There's more of a contest at that try line touchdown zone.
Now the full latch onto it. Oh, it flies over!
Aerobic fitness is much more important in rugby. You've got to play offense, defense, back and forth.
Seen them on the 7 series, do the same thing, but it's kept on with another intercept. Can you believe it?
You can be a big, strong guy, like a football lineman, but if you can't run all day, you can't play rugby.
There's some very key differences between the two. (27-17) the score. Ohio leading San Diego at halftime at Memorial Park. As a very, very important game, the Ohio Aviators played a strong first half and trying to break into second, and they would be able to do that with the bonus point they've already got for the 4 tries. If they could come up with a 4-point victory, they need to duplicate that effort in the second half.
Yeah, no, we spoke to, I mean, you heard the interview with the coach. Wasn't their focus point during the week. But I'm sure now as we go into the second half and things are playing out as it's playing out, that bonus point is gonna, it's becoming crucial. But they did all the hard work in the first half. They got the 3 tries, so they need 1 more, and then they got to defend their lead. San Diego, on the other hand, is got to fight that. And like I said, I think the score is 27-17, but it's a lot closer than that scoreboard would like to tell you.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. San Diego was very, very dangerous, as we knew that they were, and it looked like they were on the verge of getting maybe blown out of the game, but they made it a real contest. But Spike Davis really stood out in this first half.
They did a fantastic offload, and then it's, you know, well-rounded try. And here they go again, and see the opposite wing, Elkins this time. Fantastic over.
They did get four tries, by the way, so they have their 4. And that was one of them. And then, of course, they got a big one at the end. But first it was San Diego coming back, and Calais Conrad winning the race to the post.
Yeah, you're right. And this is the 3rd try from Elkins. That's right. Look at this fantastic speed. And over he goes. 5 points. That was just a fantastic try.
Yeah, and then showed tremendous breakaway speed there. But again, San Diego bounced back.
Yeah, this was...
Leah Tagaga ran onto that ball and put it down. The 7 superstar tightened up the game again. Yeah. And then here, right at the end, they finally found some open space, and Davis took it over.
Yeah, that sealed it right there. So, Greg, in all fairness, that was the 4th try. And you got the bonus point. Now you got to secure the win.
Yeah, that's right. They'll get the bonus point anyway, but it doesn't mean anything without the win. Meanwhile, San Diego, they're dangerous, and we'll be hearing, actually, from Coach Ray Egan before the second half begins. Let's take a break. Ohio leading 27-17, second half coming up. We have returned to Memorial Park in Obetz, Ohio, outside of Columbus. 27-17, the Ohio Aviators leading the San Diego Breakers. And Ricky Lopcher is standing down by the field with Ray Egan, the head coach for San Diego.
So I'm here with Ray Egan, the San Diego coach. Ray, The scoreline is not favoring you guys, but it's a much closer game than the scoreline would tell us at the moment. Take us through your first half and what are we going to improve on and what are we going to see in the second half?
I suppose it's just inaccuracies really from both sides, I think. It kind of seems to be a little bit of a tit for tat score and then you give away a score. So really all it's whoever controls the game really. Controls possession of the ball, controls field position. I think will end up the winner of this game.
I think personally you guys were top class at the break points with your loose trio. I think you guys stole a couple of balls there and contested really well. Ohio's kind of known on their own field for doing that, and the counter-attacking there for me was pretty good. Is it something that you guys work on, or?
Yeah, I suppose it's just coming over the last few weeks. We've been kind of getting penalised a lot for breakdown time, so rather than be reactive on it, we decided to be proactive, and so I suppose a lot of what we did is just try not to compete at the floor and just try and win the space over the ruck. So it's working okay for us. I think our scrum is probably the most pleasing part of what we're doing today, but we just got to go and control the ball a little bit better, make our tackles, and there's space out wide if we can exploit it and we can build phases there. You know.
Fantastic. Well, good luck with the second half.
Cheers.
All the best.
Thank you.
Ray Egan still seems like he's very, very calm in assessing his team's performance. I'm sure he's not happy to be down 10, but San Diego has shown themselves more than any other side in this league to be really explosive. And even with the absence of some of their top players and their most explosive players, they showed that capacity in the first half. In particular, some great, dangerous breakaway running by Brian Matias. So they're definitely still a threat in this game with second place, you can really say, on the line in pro rugby, and not only that, but the best chance to make a run at first place. And the champion of this inaugural season of pro rugby will be the team in first place at the conclusion of the 12-game regular schedule. Here's Elkins. Once again, running like a man possessed, as he has been the entire game. He's already scored twice, and a good long run there, and then he gets it to McIntosh, and he's a load to bring down. And Ohio is on the attack here early in the second half. Christopher Kunkel played the ball forward.
Backward.
Purdon having a hard time handling it, finally just covers it up. He's got to release the ball. And again, some heavy going there in the middle of the pitch.
Run in.
I'm going to kick the ball out. Held up by the wind. San Diego is kicking against the wind. There's an offload, and what a big collision there. But still on his feet and plowing forward. We're going to get an opportunity to talk to J.P. Eloff of Ohio, but right now breaking through, and a great pass off, and they will score. An outstanding offload there from Hansen to Waldock. Dominic Waldock scores once more. And Ohio goes up 32-17. And a big, big try there as we're joined up here in the booth by J.P. Eloff of the Ohio Aviators, and a great play there. And certainly that's a great boost there at the start of the second half. They got an important try at the end of the first, and now they bounce back with an important one at the start of the second.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great way to open the second half. Obviously, hopefully we can build from there.
So JP, you being off, you see Robbie Short taking the kicking responsibility. Does it hit you hard? And do you want to be on there today?
Oh yeah, obviously. I miss it a lot. It's hard to just sit on the sideline and watch, but Robbie's done a fantastic job today to step up and take the kicks, and he's been doing really well.
Fantastic.
So 34-17 as the conversion is made as well. And it is suddenly a 34-17 game after it was just a 5-point margin separating the two teams. And now San Diego will kick the ball back off to Ohio, and a chance for Ohio to really take control here. And a hard time fielding that ball cleanly, and finally the whistle goes.
Yeah, Elkin's taking his eyes off the ball there for a split second, unfortunately. Ball got knocked on, and we'll have a scrum down with San Diego to field the ball. And as their coach Egan was saying, it's a bit of tit for tat. You know, once again, San Diego finds himself on the attack.
And they will be able to feed the scrum here. Trying to bounce back. That's been really the style of this game. One team seems like they're taking charge, and then the other team comes right back again. And San Diego already is right outside the red zone. But JP, what have you thought about Ohio's performance here so far in this overall game?
Yeah, we've been doing great. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I feel like sometimes we rushed it a little bit, but the guys have been hanging in there, and just the support off the ball, like running lines and stuff, has been really good from our team today. But obviously the San Diego team it's been on fire too this whole season. Especially on this setup right here of the scrum, we got to look for that, what I did earlier, that chip through. So obviously this number 10 is great vision, and we have to make sure we shut him down.
No, absolutely.
Hit barrel, hit barrel.
So they'll try it again.
It's awesome. JP, what's the culture like in the team? I mean, you guys, you know, getting all together, and has it grown as a team?
Oh yeah. Forward? Since the start, we've been growing a lot. Obviously, practicing and seeing each other every day. Sometimes you get a little annoyed, but it's like a brotherhood, and like your little brother, you get in trouble with each other a little bit, but we bowled and we love spending time together, and we always do things on and off the field. So yeah, it's a very close team.
And here they stop the San Diego attack and then break away out to midfield. A good wide pass. And all of a sudden they're back into San Diego territory. And a great defensive stand there. And even when San Diego has been able to score, they've had to work really hard to do it. And once again, they were denied.
Yeah, no, definitely. All these teams on this level is like, you just make one mistake and it's a turnover, and they take the opportunity away from you, and they make opportunity for themselves.
And now they've got a real chance to get some distance between the two. Obviously, it's been tough for you, JP. You got hurt early in the season, and not just getting hurt, but having to miss the entire year. Watching the team has got to be tough, but certainly I think being around the guys and watching the way this team has progressed in their first season has probably been a rewarding thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can see that with all the teams. Definitely the level of rugby has gone up so much week to week. And yeah, it's still great to be a part of it. I love being involved. Even when I'm on the sideline now, I'm staying as involved as I can.
But JP, with your injury, you know, you were one of the caps for the USA Eagles. Now sitting on the sideline, are you in contact with them on a regular basis?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. As soon as I got injured the next day, I got a call from Mitch, and he's been in contact with me, and they've been keeping me in the loop. So we'll see. Maybe for the November test matches, I can maybe go back to camp, and I just have to get my fitness levels and everything back up.
All right, mate, good.
34-17, Ohio leading San Diego, and joined up here in the booth by JP Eloff of the Ohio Aviators. Doing outstanding job for this team before going down with injury, and we've heard a lot about how the internationals have felt about the caliber of play here in pro rugby, and what would you say the impression for somebody who's played top level rugby elsewhere in the globe would feel about what they're encountering here?
I think they enjoy it a lot. Obviously, there's a lot of passion in this. It's new, so obviously when we started, the rugby wasn't the best, but every week you can see it pick up, and especially with having some of the more experienced guys here from other countries, it helps everybody pick up their game around them. So no, I think they enjoy helping out and teaching us too, so that's great to have them here.
JP, one more question I'm going to ask you before, as we look at this penalty kick coming in for the infringement in the line out, so San Diego gets to close the deficit if they can make this go over. Do you have, we know you have a pretty large fan base in the USFA, but is there a pretty nice fan base back home and from Pretoria?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely have always my family and close friends that I went to high school with that tries to watch all the games online. Even now that I'm not playing, they still track the Ohio team, and they still very great supporters of pro rugby.
Yeah, fantastic, man.
See if San Diego can convert here. And they have a tremendous kicker in Marath, and he's been one of the great players in this league.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's got a lot of experience. He's been doing really well. His kicking is incredible. His vision is great.
And really, he's been a major reason why San Diego is still in contention here. That shot, kick slicing toward the goal, but it is just wide, and the score will remain 34-17. But JP, Love, I know you want to get back down with your teammates, but appreciate you coming up here and talking with us.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Thanks, JP.
One of the outstanding members of the Ohio Aviators and one of the international players that have been brought over to help to make pro rugby a success in its first season. It was a big loss, obviously, for Ohio to lose him for the entire year, but his presence has still been very, very valuable thing for the squad. And here they go forward again. Ball just near midfield. And Ohio trying to, once more, put San Diego back on their heels. Ryan McTiernan with it, then they played the ball forward, and it'll be kicked right back out.
Nice little kick just down the sideline. Little angle to work with, didn't find touch.
Fielded by Hansen, who has played an outstanding game.
Elkins trying something there, but got caught.
Elkins, he along with Davis have probably been the two stars of the game, if you will. Most prominent figures. Here we go, the great ball inside there for Fawcett, and he got it off to Pierce Dargan. Dargan getting behind the defense. Now it is Waldock. And a little bit of a miscommunication, and maybe Waldock joining the team the first time.
That's Richard, the 8th man, picking it up.
8 away.
That is Reichert Hadding, who also playing his first game. That ball didn't go to hand. Elkins comes up with it and runs headlong into Kekela Poole.
Yeah, huge collision right there.
Still Ohio is controlling the ball and really wearing San Diego down at the moment, it would appear.
Stay here, Red.
Taylor with trying to find some open space. Not the base
in front, able to pick it up there is Pono Haitsuka.
Backward.
And again, nowhere to go for the Breakers.
Lost now.
Yeah, it's just great defense by Ohio. The defense is holding up really well, and they're contesting the ball really well at the same time.
Wide again here. San Diego with a little bit of running room and a great tackle. As Leah Tagaga looked like he might have had some running room, but he was cut down beautifully by Robbie Shaw. Leah Tagaga, he is definitely one of the most dangerous San Diego players.
Oh, great steal, here they come.
And right back, and a big hit there, but Shaw, just undaunted, keeps right on going. And then the ball could not be picked up before it bounded over the touchline.
Silly mistake. Shaw only being 10 stones high, took a big tackle, didn't go down. Shows you the heart of that man. It's going to go down on his terms.
Ohio will
look at
be
this
able to
right
put the
here.
ball in on the line out.
Big hit. Still stands strong.
And here, had they been able to go to hand with that ball, they might have been able to break it down the left flank.
Yeah, unfortunately, the touch line has won that contest once again. So as we settle here for a water break.
34-17 with second half nicely underway, and Ohio looking very, very strong. That's one thing on their home field. They have been very, very difficult to contend with. As we take a look at the try totals in the league, and we see that Ohio has a lot of names up there at the top, led by Sebastian Kalm with 6. He's been gained the nickname the try machine around the league. Ohio has been a high-scoring side as well, especially when they played here. They hit the 50 mark, 50 and 51, 101 total points in the first 2 games they played on their home field. I guess it's a little bit due to a quirk of scheduling. It's unfortunate for Ohio that most of their early games have been played on the road. And one thing that's really been learned in this league is it is very, very difficult to win on the road, especially for the teams that have to do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I mean, it's new and it's a lot of travel. Travel is always difficult, but it's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to figure out moving forward. I mean, you know, looking into next year, adding more teams, there's going to be more travel. So it is going to come down to the team who figures out traveling first and good ways to travel.
Tagaga in the middle right now with 3 California teams. And Denver, more of a West Coast team. Ohio is the most geographically isolated team in the league. And each one of their road trips has been quite an odyssey. There's a ball going out wide to the left, and San Diego is putting on the pressure again. Ball played forward, trying to get to it, but unable to.
Jamie, it's an option.
You know, you see those little stab kicks earlier in the first half. They paid off into a try. But you also get an idea, you know, the San Diego team, you know, going out of the box to get over the advantage line is a testimony of the defense for Ohio as they're trying new things to break that line. Then on the sideline, I see number 21, Sean Davies getting ready. Probably going to take over from Robbie Shaw, the scrum half position, I would imagine. We're going to talk about a big heart. Captain Courageous himself.
22-meter drop kick, fielded. Now here is Pono Haitsuka. He's a real exciting up-and-comer in this San Diego team. He's played in the Development Academy, Northeast.
Yeah.
All of these players for San Diego, even the ones that you didn't hear the most about, got a lot of potential.
Backward.
Really, everyone in this league falls into that category.
That's right. It seems like San Diego has found some new energy because they're throwing everything at Ohio, but Ohio's stealing the ball and
19 offside.
And there's an offside by number 19, as you heard.
On
that would
David Dolinar for San Diego.
I can tell you for certain that Taylor Hayden is going to try to find some touch here.
20, here
he will be taking his time, giving his forwards a bit of a break. And then at the same time try to get as much distance as possible.
Howden has been quite effective with his kicking game so far. And once again, he does the job there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to fill in pretty big boots in the likes of JP Yilov, who was just here with us in the box. And at the moment, he's going above and beyond.
You have a sub, Ohio. Time is off.
And you see Sean Davies is substituting Robbie Shaw.
And he was ready to go. He was definitely going through some vigorous limbering up exercises before heading onto the pitch. And he's a guy who can give the team a lift just by his presence out there.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team has got so much respect for him, and he leads by example. And like I said, Captain Courageous, it probably couldn't be a better nickname for him. He's got a heart of a lion.
Sean Davies spent some time with the USA Eagles at their training camp. That's why he didn't start this game, as he missed a few of the training sessions here with the Aviators because he was with the national side.
Yeah, you can expect him to lift the quality after play for Ohio by quite some, just by his presence and the way he influences the game moving forward.
San Diego will feed the line out. When they lost him for a time against San Francisco in the last game, said that's when things started to turn in San Francisco's direction. San Francisco, the next team coming in, and they are not anything like the team that was winless. They added the outstanding star Nils Mulaino, 100 caps with the All Blacks. And also, Volney Rouse played an outstanding game for them, another new acquisition that they had. And they're going to be very dangerous for the rest of the season.
Outside.
Kicking the ball forward. Davies.
Yeah, ball got blocked, but it seems to be working out just fine.
2, playing the man. Playing the man.
Playing the man, not the ball. Penalty offense. And this will be another opportunity for San Diego. It'll be interesting to see what they do here, Greg, if they go for goal or for the line. It seems like they're going to go for the touchline to force the 7.
There is a certain strategic benefit to the 3, which would get them to within 2 converted tries. But the way this match has been going, might be easier said than done. They figure they're going to have a chance to try to get them on the board. Now they're going to go for it.
Yeah, you know, they've been playing smart rugby all along by taking the 3 points when it's on offer. You wonder if it's a bit of the pressure piling through at the moment where they try to get the 7 rather than the 3.
So Samoa did a good job going up to take that line out. And now he's got the ball here, trying to power his way in.
No hands, really.
Continue to work it to the right side.
Yeah, they're about 5 meters out.
And then they reverse it, and now to crash. And they are very, very close now to pay dirt. Over on the left, trying to wrestle his way in goes Chris Terori. He's got to ground the ball when he gets in.
Held up, said the referee.
He wasn't able to do it.
Referee said held up. There will be a 5-meter scrum. Ohio not out of jail yet. Great defense, though.
Well, we said that they get tougher and tougher the closer you get down to their try line. It's the American football equivalent of a goal line defense. Interesting to feature at halftime. Showing all the ways in which American football derived from rugby. The player is
well, you heard
getting up a little bit.
San Francisco's
difficulty, but he's all right.
San Francisco's coach earlier said that he's very pleased with the way their scrumming is going. You know, them getting to feed San Diego getting to feed the scrum 5 meters away from the try line. What they need is a good scrum and a clean ball, a quick ball if they can.
Very crucial for them to try to get in here any way they can. And they get the quick tap and going forward. That is Tua Halamaka.
Held up once again. This is some trivia. For those of you who don't know, you can actually dot the ball down against the upright and it will be considered a try. So unlike dotting it down on the ground, if you dot it against the pole, it'll be a try.
It has to be a touchdown, hence the name touchdown. They touched on that in the halftime feature.
Very, very close.
That's twice now that they have literally been at the doorstep and even across it, but have not been able to get the points on the board.
Yeah, the defense is holding up really nice. Yet again, San Diego will get to feed the ball. I think the referee, let's listen to them.
We want to put on a show for the crowd. Let's have good scrums, good stall, stable ball, and the ball come in. Yes? Let's have it again.
The referee said if you're either going to play rugby.
Time back on.
No shenanigans, please.
Give.
Good refereeing there, pulling the 2 front rows apart, setting the record, telling them the way it's going to be, moving forward.
Bind.
So San Diego hoping the 3rd time is a charm, but
far side.
This time Demekas is going to get. Referees talk to the 2 front rows. Ohio didn't listen, unfortunately. He said a scrum, and now San Diego said, well, instead of a penalty kick, we will have a re-scrum. So they're back to square one.
They've been back to square one many times here in this phase of play.
I can tell you that burns a lot of energy.
In Ohio, they finally scored against San Francisco, but it took them 10 minutes to do it when they were right down by the try line. It did take a lot out of them. Perhaps the same thing here with San Diego. They're really making them work to get these points, if indeed they get them. Now they're back out near the 22, and a driving tackle by Elkins, showing that football form, and he came up with the ball on top of that.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. He tackled and grabbed the ball at the same time.
And they blasted out of there, finding a touchline, and what a job by the Ohio defense, getting a tremendous appreciative round of applause from their fans here.
Yeah, that was nice. Ball coming out, Taylor Alden getting enough boot on that where it's going to bring him close to the 10-meter line, relieving a lot of pressure.
San Diego was right there, as close as you can come for a seeming eternity, minutes on end.
Yeah,
better come out with nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, better yet for Ohio is they denied any points for San Diego.
And now they take the ball off that line out. And they should really, their spirits soaring now. Zach Mizell takes the ball around the right side. He got upended, but the ball's right back out. Davies feeds it out to the right. And back on the attack. Looked like they were going to break through.
Back, stay two, stay. No.
Penetrate the defense, and San Diego came up with the ball.
Backward.
All in all, San Diego has lost about 50 meters worth of field position in the last 2 minutes.
And that's got to be a bit dispiriting to them. But they're a team that can make it up very quickly. That ball comes loose. Ohio once again taking over. And here is Hatting, the South African 8-man in his first game.
Yeah, Rickard Hatting.
Kick, play it.
He played back. There's Spike Davis, such a key figure in the first half. Look at him pull his way forward.
Yeah, it takes more than one person to bring him down. Oh, what a great dummy.
Great dummy, and then going all the way in.
And that's it.
Everybody out on this field. And Christopher Kunkel goes in to score.
Taylor the Magician Hayden, as you look at this, he basically dummied the whole back line of San Diego. Had them all stand fast in their feet. Look at this. From Davies, Hayden the dummy, the whole back line. Turns on the afterburners. And only one place to go, and that's behind the goal. 5 points. Well done, lad.
So that makes it 39-17 and may go a long way towards settling this issue here today. And now Davies will come on for the conversion attempt, which should be more or less in the bank, which would make it a 41-17 score.
Yeah, it seems like the floodgates have slightly opened here. This will be formality for Davies.
And a 24-point lead for Ohio. They went to San Diego and they were leading the final play of the game and resulted in the try that won it for San Diego. But here so far on the Ohio Aviators home field, they have been in control for the most part.
Yeah, we're gonna go for the water break. Well-deserved water break. And that try really put things slightly out of San Diego's position, because now they need to score 3 converted tries. Now, by no stretch of the imagination is it over at all, but 3 converted tries is going to be a tall order going into the last 15 minutes of the second half. Yep. And it's hot, and it's humid, and it's sticky today.
Join every Wednesday for Access Crew SC every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your television home for the Crew SC Time Warner Cable Sports Channel. They'll have the latest news and highlights and everything Crew SC. And of course, this is the training facility for the Crew SC out here in this complex. And another professional team in town, the Ohio Aviators, making a big impression here with a 41-17 victory. If this continues to hold, it would be the 3rd straight really convincing victory that they would have had on their home field. And when they've gone on the road, they've been right there on the verge of coming up with victories over very strong opponents on the road in a league where road wins have been at a premium. Lost to Denver in the season opener. 14 inches of snow there on top of everything else. They led that game late. Of course, San Diego, they lost that game in the final play, and maybe the one outing that they had that they didn't feel that they really were in contention for the win as the way things went was the San Francisco game. In the last one, they came out flat there, but every one of their home games, they have been full value. And they've got the ball again here and trying to work it downfield once more. And they're very, very good sync right now. The line offloading. Look at this. They work it out to the middle of the field, and they're going to go all the way here. That is Waldock again. After 5 consecutive passes, a great build-up. And they have broken the game open. The floodgates are wide open.
Yeah, that should be the try of the, that's definitely going to be the try of the century, or the try of the game, try of the match. Run it all the way from their own try line. I mean, that was just sensational passing down the back line. Great handling skills. And then Waldo gets rounded off for an extra 5.
Well, they had those 2 inside offloads in quick succession, and the next thing you know, they were flying free in the open field. And they moved the ball all the way from one side of the field to the other.
Yeah, that was just amazing stuff. The handling was just superb.
Yeah, how you feeling?
And so here Sean Davies finds himself staring at the goal to add an extra 2 points.
That was beautiful rugby there on display by the Ohio Aviators. And the sort of thing that can really get this game to catch on.
Yeah, that try is going to go down, I'm sure, on all the social medias out there.
Yeah, that ball hangs in there to split the uprights. And Sean Davies has converted again. And it is now a 48-17 score. And this is what Paul Barford said when you talked to him at halftime. He said he thought that if they kept playing this way, they might be able to wear San Diego down, and that has happened here in the second half.
It sure has. And then you add the 2 beautiful tries, and that's not going to be good for any team's psyche. They find themselves, down 48-17. So San Diego is going to have to dig deep.
You're going to have to dig all the way down to China.
They are going to
come back here, and meanwhile, Ohio's on the move again. And they have been constantly on the attack ever since the second half began. And a big hit there on Derek Van Klein as they've got some of their reserves out.
Got to go back to the gate.
Continue to perform well. And really, I think if you look back, the turning point of this game was probably when they scored that try in the very last sequence of the opening half. Had they not gotten that, San Diego would have been the team with the upper hand going into the locker room, and it might have been a different story, but Ohio seemed to really feed off of that, and they picked right up where they left off in the second half.
Yeah, no, I mean, look at this. They keep on pushing the pressure. You see Rickert Hutting there too, and in your picture with the red scrum cap, standing at the 2 jumper in the line out. The idea is to get a clean ball, which they're doing, and now it's on. Can they score more points?
Davis. And if they do score another one, they'll have gone over the half-century mark, or at least hit the half-century mark. All 3 games they played on their home field. That ball bounded up in the air, but Elkin came up with it.
He's got 4 players around him.
Took 4 guys to stop him, and that means there's open players elsewhere on the pitch. As McIntosh goes banging in.
I mean, he just hit that guy like a freight train, and the ball goes wide.
Here they come out once more. Waldock played, and just behind his intended target, then had to be scooped up finally by Spike Davis. And it looked like they were on the verge of going in again.
Yeah, no, ball still alive. Here they come again.
And they continue to attack. This is Pierce Dargan.
Very exciting stuff here in the last 10 minutes of the second half.
San Diego, they're just like a boxer on the ropes right now.
And we're going to slow it down for a little bit as the infringement, the knock on, the scrum down. San Diego gets to feed the ball.
You must be bored, Paul.
Into the scrum.
What they really needed just to slow Ohio down a little bit as Zachary Streifler comes on to the field.
Sebastian Kalm is coming off the field. He's been substituted. Always a fantastic player. Filling the seventh. His usual position is the 8th man, but he's playing in the 7th flank today. Did a great job for his team.
And penalty on Ohio.
Yeah, scrum down.
And out goes
now roll, Red, no hands.
Samoa with the ball.
Players diving in there.
And out to Arnold Meredith.
What a tackle. That was a crunching tackle by the wing.
Yep. San Diego might be worn down, but Ohio's still playing with gusto. That ball fielded by Marath, who goes forward. Tried to toe it ahead, but even that didn't work out. To Samoa again, but whistle stops the play.
Yeah, now they'll come back for the knock-on. Some creative rugby that's being played here. Man, and we've seen some great tackles, and one such tackle was from Alex Elkins, the number 11, left wing for Ohio. Like you said, Greg, it seems like these guys still want to play a lot of rugby.
Well, there's something about being up 48-17 and being on a roll that will do that. On the other hand, for San Diego, it's been a long afternoon. Ever since, especially, they scored that try at the end of the first half.
Yeah, Mr. Time, the clock is not doing them any favors as we're running down. We got 9 minutes to go in the second half. If anything, they need the possession. They need to cross the game line and cross the try line ultimately to change the scoreboard outlook.
Of course, they still would like to be able to get 4 tries for a bonus point, but even that looks like it might be a Herculean task.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sean Davies there overcooked it a little bit, went out in the full. Rare mistake.
New ball
from the young man. Captain Courageous right there on your screen.
So the line out will go to the Breakers.
Yeah, the Breakers, and if anything there, Greg, they need to get this ball in, and they need to find time. They don't. They lose possession.
And they just haven't been sharp here in the second half. And really, Coach Egan indicated they didn't think they'd really been all that sharp in the first half, but Ohio has been. And they play that ball out, and there goes Elkins again, rumbling down the left flank. And finally brought to the ground. Ball popped out and intercepted there by Meredith.
Scrum advantage to yellow.
Elkins really just showing a lot as a ball carrier.
Yeah, no, once again, they're going wide to the wings. Took on his man, got held down. San Diego have to come up with something. They have to run it from deep in their own half.
And the going has been very tough for them. They're a team that really thrives on being out in the open, and they haven't been able to do that very often here. Now they're just going to try to go right up the gut to a Samoa. Purdon got it out for Mikey Sassini. Out wide for Derek Broussard. He's in for gorgeous Bruce Thomas.
Yeah, a little isolated. It's
Ruck.
Looking for some support, but he got brought down. Another ball do go wide for the back line. Kind of a stop-start there for San Diego.
Thomas, the tough Englishman that was listed on his reserve but was injured and couldn't go here.
And that knock-on is going to mean that Ohio will get to feed the ball into the line out, into the scrum. Beg your pardon there.
San Diego, they just have lost their really ability to execute. They just can't seem to get anything, try as they might to go for them, to work for them.
Yeah, no, that's true. But now you're going to find yourself, Ohio's going to find themselves with the scrum inside the half of San Diego.
No, here we go. No. No.
This will be Put in by Davies, who's been outstanding since entering the pitch.
Set.
Played at Brigham Young, 3 caps for the USA. Was in their training camp just prior to these upcoming international matches they have. Still very much on their radar screen for the Eagles.
17.
And they'll kick for touch here. And they will have a chance to feed the line out and maybe go over the 50 mark again. So they scored 50 points, 51. This could be their largest offensive output yet. And I don't think that's something that necessarily was anticipated coming into this match.
No, but here you have the line out, and you're about 10 meters out. You can see the communication is going on in the back line. Sean Davies is talking to his back line. Elkins is coming into the line. There's a lot going on here.
Gets up to take it. That will allow them to get into their attack.
No hands down, no.
Try to put some phase of play together. Could lead to another try. There goes Elkins. Again, it takes 3 guys. A collective effort to stop him. There's Howden.
Again!
2, get out of there.
Are they going to bring it wide?
Yeah,
No, they're going to go.
This time they look like they're going to go wide. Instead, they go right up through the reinforced middle of that San Diego defense, and they score again.
Yeah, right through the middle they go.
Well, sometimes they attack them at their strength.
Look here at the replay down here. The pick and go. Wasn't held down. Muscles his way forward and over. He go for 5.
So once again, they're over the 50 mark as it's a 53-17 score. The first 2 scores that was Davis again. It was 50-17, 51-17, and now we're at 53-17. It's a chance to make it 55, and that seems to be just about the typical score for these games here.
If you look at both of the wings for Ohio, both these wings go look for work. You know, all of a sudden Spike Davis finds himself in the thick of things in the pick and go, and he scores a try from that angle. And just earlier you saw Alex Aiken basically on the inside center position running a crash ball. So both these wings are working really hard, and they go look for work. As you see there, the flags go up for an extra 2 points.
So now it is the largest margin of victory yet for Ohio, and every one of the matches that they have played here at Memorial Park, they have won handily. Teams are going to start to hate to come here. Of course, twice Denver will be here before the season ends. And if they can take care of business, first they got to go to Denver next week. That'll certainly be a very, very big game. And San Francisco comes in.
You know, we talked to JP Yulov earlier about the team culture and the guys getting together. And it's, you know, starting up this league and this is being the home field. This is the home field. Every time they play here, they seem to keep it together and defend their honor, so to speak.
Well, they're still very much in this race. Quick tap as they get started as Ohio players being attended to, so essentially they're playing a man short right now. Zachary Streifler, and he gets right back in.
Yeah, a little bit of magic water and up he goes.
In the meantime, they held the fort. Tua Samoa was stopped. Once again, San Diego.
Well, there's still some fight left in San Diego, and good for them as the ball goes wide.
And they send that ball out, and here their best chance in a long while. They play it out wide.
Referee
couldn't quite ground the ball.
Referee has to ask. He's the touch judge. There comes tries given.
Well, they gave it to them after all. So finally a visiting team gets over that 17-point threshold, and that was probably their sharpest looking attack of the entire match.
Yeah, I mean, this is poetry in motion. Beautiful pass. Hold it down, and in the corner we go for 5 points. If they could string a few more of those together, Greg, score would have looked a little different than it does at the moment. It's almost a little too late.
Yeah, too little too late, as we see that's Ben Leotagago. He is the one who scored in the first half as he ran onto that ball that was played forward. He's been one of their most dynamic players, but they just have had not enough of that today. They've shown flashes of brilliance, but it has not been anything close to enough to hang with Ohio today. They convert to make it 55-24. It's really academic. It's just a matter of the final arithmetic. And the Ohio Aviators, one thing certainly can be said, that they have been the dominant team in this league on their home field. And mentioned that they'll have this undefeated Denver team coming in here twice, and if Ohio can win out until that point, those will be very, very interesting matchups, possibly with the inaugural pro rugby title in the balance.
Brought in. Play on.
San Diego, of course, had 12 internationals on their roster, and a lot of them absent for this game, so that certainly has to be borne in mind when looking at this score. They certainly had a wealth of talent in reserve, but they needed all hands on deck to be able to cope with this Ohio team that also lost players of the internationals. But as we said at the start of the broadcast, they had 3 really highly decorated players coming in that helped to make up for that loss. And between the injuries and the players playing on their various national sides, San Diego just lost too much punch, apparently. There's the horn, so the final phase of play going on right now. And then the Ohio Aviators will pick up the victory. Meanwhile, if San Diego could score, it would be their 4th try, so it would mean a bonus point for them. So there's still something to play for here. Penalty called on Ohio. San Diego. I don't know if it's because they realize that they could be playing for a bonus point or if it's just a matter of pride, but they're still working hard. And there is the man who was very impressive in the first half, Ryan Matias, who gets it inside the red zone. In the middle, heavy contact there as Conrad took it forward. Or actually, that was Kaylee Poole. Charlie Purdon is down and being attended to. This is what you really don't like to see, is when a game is already decided and it's just a matter of playing it out. You don't want to see anybody hurt. Ohio once again called, and they're going to have to back off the gain line.
$11.
And you see they're working on Purdon just outside of the location of the ball. Hopefully he'll be all right. He's one of their most impressive players, but he's been down and being attended to. He at least is able to sit up, so that's at least a good sign. Again, this is not the time. Of course, you never want to see an injury, but especially not when really everything has been decided for all intents and purposes. He's the one who scored to try to beat Ohio in the game that was played earlier at San Diego. He's back up and he gets the attack in motion, as he does very well for this San Diego side. Again, they're attacking the left side. They're playing the way we expected from San Diego all game long, and they score again. And that brings the score to some semblance of respectability. And for the second straight time, they attack that left wing very, very effectively and very impressively. And so there will be a conversion attempt by Murat to try to bring it to a 55-29 final score. That's Zach Pangelinen who went in to score there. And he too is a capped U.S. Eagle. played with the national side, and they convert. So the final score, 55-29. San Diego ends up making it look a lot better, perhaps, than it actually was, as they scored 2 converted tries in the final minutes of play after it had been a real one-sided score. It still is, but at least they have a little something to take back with them to San Diego. But a victory for the Ohio Aviators. And Taylor Howden getting in position down there with Ricky Lobsher. He's wearing number 20. My apologies. He actually informed us that there was a change in the jersey, and he was wearing number 20, though listed at 10, so he did score that earlier try. And he looked very, very good in doing it. Taylor Howden in his first game back, really helping to spark Ohio to this 55-29 victory over San Diego. And he's standing by with Ricky Lobsher.
Taylor, congratulations on a great win. First of all, you had the responsibility to take over the 10 position, and you did really well today. Take us through your experience today on the 10 jersey.
Yeah, I was sort of just playing in behind a pretty strong forward back. They gave me a pretty good platform, and I was just able to execute sort of the game plan. So that was good being behind the forwards.
Well, it's pretty big boots to fill, in the likes of JP Willoff, and then you had that magical dummy and basically dummied the whole back line and went in for yourself. Please take us through that try from the get-go.
I don't think I dummied the whole back line, but I had a couple of boys outside me who were calling for the ball, and I think they took a bit of pressure off me, so I was just lucky enough to sort of slide through the hole there and get under the stick, so it was good.
That is the very modest Taylor right there. But Taylor, anyway, what I want to say, congratulations on a great win. After this, you guys are going to Denver for travel. So anything to look forward to for Denver at their home field?
I think we just got to clean up our kick chase line. I think when we put a little bit of pressure on them with a kick, our kick chase can be a wee bit better and square up a few things on the outside defence. But if we just continue to play our patterns, trust in each other, trust in ourselves, trust in the coaches, I think we'll be right for Denver.
Well, anyway, like I said, and before I let you go here, you have a little one underway for the same day scheduled for the same day as the game. So how's that going to work out for you?
Yeah. My son's due on the Saturday. So if he doesn't come, I don't know if I'll be going. If he comes early, then I'll be travelling with the boys. So I don't know, to the baby gods, let's hope he comes a wee bit early, I suppose.
Well, congratulations to you and your family on that one. We're going to go back to Greg for a minute, and then we'll grab some more interviews. Good luck on Denver.
Thanks, Ricky.
Okay, well, I guess the Ohio fans have to hope for an early, speedy delivery there, and that might increase their chances of getting a victory at Denver. And a great performance by Taylor Howden as he comes back, and another great performance by the next gentleman who is setting up with Ricky Lobsher. In fact, a couple of guys down there, and Dominic Walduck and also Alex Elkins. Let's go back down to Fricky.
Yeah, anyway, so here I am with Dominique and Alec. First of all, guys, congratulations on a great win.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic game. Alec, I'll go with you first. You had some strong runs and some beautiful handoffs. Take us through a few of those and your take on the game, mate.
Well, today was a good opportunity for me. I got called up because of an injury on the wing. And, I can't really take much credit because it all comes from the inside out. So I got to say we did a really good job with our game plan. We worked on getting fastball, playing more rugby rather than being too technical.
Alec, I'm going to stop you. You
Okay.
can take some credit for a lot that happened today. It was fantastic rugby from you, and I'll go with you, man.
Well, I had the will and desire to be successful and help my team out. So whenever I get the ball in hand, I take full advantage of the opportunity, and I just want to make the most of it. So any chance I get, I just want to give everything I got.
Now, Dominique, you're new to the side. You came into the side. In World Rugby, we'll always say it takes a great center to make a wing look good. So maybe that was the case. How did you enjoy being on the field today?
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Really enjoyed the first outing. I think when you've got guys like this on your wing, it's just the boys in the midfield, it's just our job to get the ball in space. And as you saw today, they're devastating when they get the ball, both yourself and Spike. They're just outstanding today.
How nice it is to come into the game and in the first 5 minutes get 5 points on the board and being the guy to do it.
My first touch in pro rugby as a try, it was a great start. I had a great afternoon, it was good fun.
Well, guys, I just want to say fantastic win. The scoreboard reflects what happened today on the field. Congratulations and best of luck moving on to Denver.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Yeah, and maybe not even entirely reflecting what went on in the field as Denver got those 2 late tries. It was enough to get them their 4 tries for the game, so that was important. But nonetheless, the overall run of the play certainly very, very much favored Ohio. And they actually led 55-17 before those 2 late consolation tries. And, of course, very modest players for Ohio, as I think looking at the replay, did dummy the whole back line. And Elkins obviously was tremendous today, as was Walduck in his inaugural game. So today's final score, the Ohio Aviators 55, the San Diego Breakers 29. Tune in Sunday, June 26th at 3 p.m. for another broadcast of Pro Rugby when the San Francisco Rush heads east to face the Aviators for another epic battle in this, the inaugural season of professional rugby in the United States. For Freaky Lobsher and our entire crew, this is Greg Franke bidding you good day from Memorial Park in Obetz, Ohio.